Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're watching a video about a woman who's eaten her husband's ashes. Also, please ignore the fact that I've got a bowl cut.
My name is Casey. I'm 26 years old. I'm from Fayetteville, Tennessee, and I'm addicted to carrying around my husband's urn.
Okay, so you know whenever you hear that, you're like, oh, she just carries her husband's urn around. It gets worse because in the end she starts to eat it, like she literally licks it like a cat licking your hand.
I take my husband everywhere, to the grocery store, shopping.
Oh babe, look at that. That's neat.
Her husband sadly passed away, which is actually quite sad. You know, if you ever do get married, you kind of think you're going to spend the rest of your life with them. And like, she isn't old, but it's like, you know, she lost her husband.
Anywhere I go, he goes.
I've noticed with a lot of these videos, something usually sad happens and then it causes them to do the stuff that they do.
When I go grocery shopping, I buy the foods that he likes. When I cook what he likes. I don't eat it.
Oh god, that's so sad, isn't it? Obviously her husband meant a lot to her, like she really loved him, but she still cooks the meals that he really enjoys. But it's like the fact that he's not here, but she still does it. I feel like a lot of times these people just need therapy.
If I'm watching TV, he's there with me.
You wanna watch this?
If somebody says, hey, who is that? I'm like, oh, this is my husband.
Imagine you go to her house, you just see like the wee box and you're like, oh, what is that? And she's like, oh, it's my husband. What would you say? Like, you can't really say much, can you?
Some people laugh. They think I'm playing, but I mean, it's serious. It's my husband.
I mean, we can tell with them eyes that it's your husband. Yet again, it's so sad, isn't it? Because she's obviously going through a lot. Like, she's went through a lot. She lost her husband. I wonder how long they were married for.
Casey and Sean were married in 2009 after dating for 10 months.
Everything I had ever wanted in a man was right in front of me, and it felt so great.
They were literally in the perfect relationship. I actually feel really bad for her. You know, obviously this is a mourning thing. She does it because she's mourning his death. If I was in that position, I don't know how I'd act. I've never been in a relationship, but it must be awful to fall in love with someone, marry them, and then one day they die.
They fell in love and soulmates from day one.
I wonder what the mom thinks about her eating her husband. Does the mom know? I mean, look, I can understand that she like misses her husband, but it's the fact that she literally eats his ashes, and you'll find out about it soon.
The 2.5 years that they were together, I think, was the only time Casey was truly happy.
Oh, yet again, it's so sad. Like, she was truly happy for 2.5 years with her husband. I wonder how long ago he passed. So they got married in like 2009. So he probably died in like 2011, 2010. I wonder how long this has been going on for. And also have to keep in mind she is eating the ashes, so one day she might run out of them.
Their marriage was picture perfect until Sean suffered a severe asthma attack 2 months ago.
Oh my god, asthma attack. Yeah, that's quite scary. A lot of people don't understand you can actually die from asthma attacks. I feel like a lot of times whenever people think of people dying, they think of heart attacks, strokes, you know, like loads of different deaths, but they never think of asthma attacks. Asthma is a real serious thing.
The doctor came in, and the look on his face was telltale. It was the day my world stopped turning.
It must be such a traumatic thing to go through something like that. I'm very lucky where I've never really had to go through death. I lost my grandfather, but I wasn't super close with him, and then I lost my dog, but I was kind of young. Imagine you literally lose your other half. Like, it would be heartbreaking.
Though Casey initially found comfort by having her husband's ashes at her side, her addiction has recently evolved.
And it has evolved to her eating the husband. A lot of people might not know, but basically whenever somebody passes away, there's many ways you can do with their body. Like, there's certain things you can do. You can bury the body, you can cremate the body, you can turn the body into jewelry or like diamonds. Obviously in this case he's cremated and he's in that little box, so basically his body's kind of like a powder. Think of something like flour, his body's basically like that. However, she started to eat the body.
I guess with the transfer of his cremains, you know, some got into the cardboard box as well, and they spilled out on my hands.
And what would the normal person do? They would probably, you know, wipe it out in a towel, you know, there's still some there. However, she sucked in the fingers.
And they spilled out on my hands. And I didn't want to wipe them off because that's my husband. I don't want to wipe him away. So I just licked it off my fingers.
They got her to recreate that. I wonder what they put in her fingers. I mean, what would it actually taste like? It would probably just taste like sand or like dry skin. And the thing is, she probably enjoyed it. I mean, if she keeps eating her husband, one day the rest of the ashes aren't going to be there.
Here I am today, almost 2 months later, and I can't stop.
Oh my god, right, so she can't stop. This has been going on for 2 months. Oh my god, this poor woman, she's eating her husband. What she needs is therapy. I say it all the time with these videos. Whenever they start to get into an unhealthy pattern, they need therapy. Like, they need to talk to somebody about it because it's not normal.
I'm eating my husband.
Oh my god, look at her. She's proper going in for a munch as well. Basically, it's like eating the McDonald's burger. I feel so bad for her, but it's like, this isn't normal. It's not healthy.
First, I lick my finger, and I don't just dip it in. I swirl around to kind of feel and get it caked on there good.
Oh my god, is that like the actual ashes? Is this like what we're seeing how it goes down? What are them lollies that you get where you like lick it and then put it into like that powder, which is like kind of tangy? I can't remember what it's called, but this basically reminds me of it.
And then I just eat it.
Just like that. I mean, that wasn't a lot on her finger, but think of it, if she's doing it every day or like every hour, eventually it's gonna add up. I mean, this is an addiction which will end one day if she continues to eat her husband.
It tastes like rotten eggs.
Okay, so it tastes like rotten eggs and you continue to do it. Imagine what her husband's thinking. Like, imagine if her husband's up in heaven and is looking down and is thinking, why are you literally eating my ashes? Also, what does his family think of it? I mean, if I found out that my mum was eating my dad's ashes, I'd be like, what's going on?
But I've grown to love that taste.
I've been in that situation before where like I've eaten something which probably shouldn't be eaten, you get addicted to it. It's kind of like whenever you get like them marker pens and you sniff it and like it hits the back of your brain. I used to be addicted to sniffing them things. So I kind of relate to her. Like, I low-key am addicted to weird things, but like I shouldn't be.
It started as not wanting to get rid of him, and it's progressed into eating him.
Yeah, exactly. So it started as grief and it's now turned into an unhealthy addiction. Yet again, she needs one thing and one thing only: therapy. I really hope TLC were like actually giving her like advice and helping her rather than just like exploiting her.
I've lost 42 pounds since my husband passed away. Basically, the only thing I'm eating are his ashes.
Oh god, yeah, so it was bad enough that she was eating the ashes, but it's the fact that it's like the only thing she's eating. I don't know 42 pounds, but that does sound like a big amount of weight for someone to lose. Oh my god, that's not good. She's basically starving herself to death, but she's only eating her husband's ashes.
Casey eats her husband's ashes 5 to 6 times a day.
5 to 6 times a day. So let me think. If she's doing that a month, she is doing that like 1,500 times a month. Something like that. Is that the right amount? No, 150, not 1,500. Either way, that's still a lot. And she's been doing it for 2 months.
When I open up the urn, I get a sense of happiness. It's like an adrenaline rush for me. And the more I eat, the more excited I get until I realize there's not a lot left.
Okay, so this has been going on for 2 months and there's already not a lot left. I really want to know what his family thinks of it. I mean, with ashes, I don't really know how it goes. You sort of like separate them to each part of the family. Thinking about it now, I don't even know he is my granddad's ashes. I think it's my step granny who my family don't speak to because she's a bit of a psycho. But like, we've got my dog's ashes. I don't know where they are. I mean, should I go and taste them? What did it taste like?
Then a few minutes later, I feel horrible because I did it.
Oh god, that is me with a lot of things. You ever like eat something, you're like, I know I shouldn't eat it, but then you eat it and then later you feel horrible. I mean, hopefully one day she feels really horrible and she'll stop doing it, because one day she's not gonna have any more ashes left.
When I got Sean back from the crematory, he weighed 6 pounds. He is closer to 5 pounds now, so I have consumed right at a pound.
Okay, yet again, I don't know how much that is, but it seems like a lot. Like, it's quite shocking whenever you get told it. So in 2 months, she's basically ate a sixth of him. Yeah, she is not gonna have any ashes left this time next year.
That's hard.
I mean, yeah, it is. I do feel bad for, like, she is going through grief. She's obviously going through a lot. You know, whenever something bad happens, you usually do get into bad habits. And the thing is, as well, it's so hard to get out of a bad habit. Do you ever have, like, a really good sleeping schedule and then you ruin it? It's really easy to ruin it and, like, get into a bad sleeping schedule. But it's so hard to get back into a good one.
I'm eating my husband.
Yep, you are, and it ain't healthy. Like, you're literally losing loads of weight, and imagine what that's doing to the inside. Like, imagine what her insides look like. She basically poos them out as well. I'm telling you right now, the inside of her stomach must look like a desert.
Very few people know that Casey is eating her husband's ashes. She recently shared this secret with her mother.
Oh no, the poor mother. I mean, the mother, first of all, is heartbroken for her daughter because she lost her husband. But it's the fact that now the daughter has to go and say, I'm eating my husband. What is the mum gonna think?
When Casey actually told me that she was eating Sean's ashes, it was like I couldn't speak. I really couldn't do anything. I mean, it's like I was just frozen there.
Exactly, you can't really do anything, can you? You can kind of say, look, it's not good, you should stop it, but like, you don't really have much power. Also, I feel like a lot of times whenever it comes to videos like this, people laugh at them, but this woman has went through a lot. She's went through proper grief. She's hit a super low level of like sadness and depression. It's gonna be really hard for her to get out of. I really do hope this woman does get help.
It makes me feel
myself, embarrassed, ashamed, disgusted with myself, confused.
I mean, it is okay not to be okay, but it is not okay for you to eat the ashes. You know, like, there isn't much I can actually say.
It's a big one that pops into my head. Gotta be really sick person to eat someone's ashes.
I mean, yeah, I kind of understand that. Like, let's be realistic, it is a bit weird. It's not normal. You also do have to keep in mind, yet again, she is going through grief. She lost the person closest to her. Yet again, a lot of the times, these people need a therapist. She might not think she's harming herself, but I can tell you right now, she is doing major harm to her body. Okay, what is psychosis? I think that's whenever you turn a bit crazy. Yeah, thinking about it, if she's literally eating the ashes, that's gonna turn her cuckoo.
It's panicking me and it's worrying me that she's losing reality even more. And I need to do what I need to help her get past that.
Exactly, the mum's probably sat there thinking it is like a ticking time bomb. Like, I need to try and step in ASAP or something bad's gonna happen.
Knowing that a pound is already gone is hard, and that's one reason I need help. Because I'm going to run out soon. And I don't know if I'll be able to hold it together any better than I'm doing now.
Exactly, she's literally got an addiction, which is eating her husband. One day that will run out. You know, like, one day she ain't gonna have any more ashes to eat. And like, what happens whenever that happens? Yet again, what she needs is a therapist, and she needs to save the ashes.
What am I going to do when I go to bed at night and there's just an urn there and there's nothing in it?
I mean, with her, she's obviously going through grief. What she has to do is move on. The sad reality is that people die. You know, whenever someone dies, they're gone. They are dead. They're never coming back. It happens with everyone. Everyone will be dead one day. You basically just have to learn how to deal with it and move on. I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest, whenever I die, I don't want any of my friends or family to sit there and get into a massive rut. I want them to, you know, celebrate my life, know that I had a good life, and move on with their life. I don't want me dying to, you know, stop them living their life.
But can Casey quit her addiction to eating her husband's ashes? Can her family stop her before it's too late?
I mean, they're gonna have to, and she's gonna have to stop herself, because one day there ain't gonna be any ashes left.
Just want her to stop eating the ashes. That's my one and only hope for my daughter.
I feel so bad for the mum, because obviously you can see the daughter's going through a lot, but she can't stop her. What happens if the mum passes away? Is Casey gonna eat her ashes? Imagine she's just got like a thing for ashes. She loves the taste of it.
I have to stop eating him. I've lost him once. This time it'll be my fault that I lose him again.
She's got his remains, like that's the last thing of him ever on this earth, and she sat there and she's eating them.
She wants to reveal the truth to her cousin Stephanie and ask for help.
I'm feeling anxious a little bit, nervous. I don't want to lose the trust that we have.
Okay, so she's gonna tell her cousin. I wonder how her cousin's gonna react. I mean, if someone sat you down and said they like eating ashes, there is only one reaction. It would be why.
I have something to tell you, Stephanie.
Oh no.
I don't want you to freak out, and I don't want you to get mad, and I really don't want you to push me away and not talk to me anymore.
Here's some advice. If you're gonna tell somebody something weird that you're embarrassed about, don't start it off with that, because that usually means one thing and one thing only, which is bad. If someone ever says that to me, I get real anxiety. Like, it really makes me anxious, because I keep thinking they're gonna tell me something that's like really bad. It's like whenever your family sit you down and you can tell it's bad news and they like start doing all that blabbery stuff, it's like, just tell me what it is.
I've been eating his ashes.
Yep, that is my exact reaction as well, Ashley. I completely agree with you. I mean, whenever you think of it, they're literally eating the remains of their husband. Like, it is like eating sand. I won't lie, I low-key do like the taste of sand in my mouth. Like, it is kind of crunchy, but like, I wouldn't eat it 24/7.
He'll always be a part of me because I'm
Right.
eating him, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not true, because if you eat him, you're eventually going to poo him out. That's how the digestive system works. If you wanted to get a tattoo, which you can actually do, basically you can get ashes and put them in like the wee tattoo gun or needle thingy and get them tattooed inside you. You can also get ashes turned into a diamond, I'm pretty sure, like crystals. That's much better ways to do it rather than eating him.
But I don't know what to think about that. It is a kind of a little too much, maybe.
I mean, it's not too much, it's very alarming. If I found out a family member or friend was eating ashes, I would be freaked out. You know, like, there's nothing good about ashes. Ashes is basically burnt up body. She's basically a cannibal.
I don't quite understand why Casey would feel as far as eating the ashes would bring her closer to him.
Grief, that's the real answer. It's grief. She has been hit with all of these bad emotions and she doesn't know how to deal with it. She's struggling. It's quite obvious she's struggling a lot. What she needs is therapy and a better way to deal with the grief. That could be exercise, like going out for a walk, joining a club. You know, there's so many ways to deal with grief, and sometimes you get into a really bad habit of doing bad stuff, and she's obviously doing that.
I don't understand why she would want to keep eating it.
I mean, I don't understand it as well, but you also do have to keep in mind we're not in her shoes. She's obviously going for a lot. She is feeling the worst possible way she ever could. She's lost her other half. So she's probably very close to breaking point, which means she's gonna act really different. Okay, so I watched the rest of it and it was basically them just rambling, but I do have an update in the comments. Okay, so this comment says, I'm happy to inform you guys that since this episode, Casey has gotten the help she needs and is remarried. So basically, she's gotten therapy and she's now in a new relationship and she's married. Well, anyways, guys, that's where I'm gonna leave that video. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, press the big red subscribe button, and yes, I'll see you all in my next video.